and welcome to today's video. We'll be starting at Birmingham Moor Street, riding aboard one of Chiltern Railway's local sets. Birmingham Moor Street was opened in 1909 and is a Grade 2 listed building, which is pretty good. Time to get into the history of the local hood set. It comprises of a Class 68 locomotive, DVT and Mark III carriages. The Class 68 locomotive dates back from the mid-2010s and were built by Staglia. The DVT dates from the late 1980s and the early 1990s and were built by Metro Camel. And the Mark III carriages date back from the 1970s and 80s. I really love the nostalgic feeling of the station. There's really old signs and stuff. I don't know if they are old or they made to look old, but they look really nice. Here's our Class 68 locomotive on the rear, which are very noisy. The Mark III's carriages have been heavily maintained, having slam doors, now having electric doors. I have tried to figure out when Chilterns were last refurbished. The best I could find was the early 2010s. I'm not 100% certain if it was, but this is the best info I could find. Something took me by surprise when boarding. See if you can notice.
Oh shit, he is, isn't he?
If you haven't noticed, the classic Intercity 70 seat, which is some of the most comfiest seats ever, I'd go as far as saying. I've never sat on them before, but it's going to change today. Passenger information screen TV type things have been installed. They actually like displaying the news and stuff on there, which I think is really handy. Time for a standard toilet test. So they're quite small, the toilets, but it doesn't really matter. The water flows well, the soap works well. I'm quite liking the feeling in here. I think it's quite modern. Really nice modern feeling. The hand dryer, I just could not get to work at all. I don't know if there was a button on there or something I was missing. I'm not too sure. But the soap and the water works. But it's a bit disappointing I can't get the hand dryer to work. Bit of a different hand dryer to what you usually see on a toilet though. Well, on a train anyway. So you just move this little holder thing and you've got a decently sized tray table. Now I love these seats, this is so comfy. Time to get a padding. Look at that padding, absolutely fantastic. These are some of the most plush, comfortable seats out there. Okay, the seat maquette's a bit boring, but the seats are amazing. Window curtains as well, and just to say, this is standard class, mind. Armrests as well, but you can't really move them, which is a bit disappointing. Unplug sockets also provided. There's the announcement screens, really cool. They sometimes display how the London Underground's getting on as well, like the different lines, which is really cool. Some problem with these seats, if you're like really tall, your head's not always going to fit on the seat, but they will on. There's different ones on there as well, and now these are basically really hard. You get all the Intercity 70 seats, but looks like where some seats haven't been on there in the past, they've just fitted some seats, but they've just put in some different seats in there, which are way more uncomfortable, but higher, of course. Plenty of luggage space as well. Just to say, you can either catch a 5-car formation or a 6-car formation. We're on the 6-car formation today. And we'll only be travelling on here for about 20 minutes, because that's perfect time to just do a review of it. Fold-out seats are also provided for if the train's really busy, which is another handy feature. Between Birmingham Moor Street and, I don't know how to say, it's just spam in the comments, I'm stupid in the comments if you want. London, I can't say it, London Marylebone, something like that. You can either get this local haul set or Class 168 Clubman set, which are usually 3 carriage in length compared to our 5 or 6. So yeah, this one's definitely a lot better to get. I'm loving like the premium feel. You get curtains, which I think's better than a window blind personally. Gives it an extra feeling. Really comfy seats as well. I feel like these have been refurbished so well. There's no more slam doors. Well, there is, but for like the garden stuff. There's air conditioning now on here, screens as well. These are features that would have been added in the refurbishment. These aren't the original features, of course, as these do date back from nearly 50 years ago. On the approach to the buffet car and first class section now. On the screen now, you can see what I'm on about the London Underground, so credit to Chiltern, that's a really good feature. Yeah, first class does not have the Intercity 70 seats. They would have used to, of course, but with whatever features they add in, like the Intercity 70 seats are in first class, probably a recline and all that, but I'm not too sure, as it dates from the 70s and 80s. But there's different seats in there, which, as you will see in a minute, are definitely awful. So you can see it looks quite smart, but the padding is not smart at all. A tiny little bit of padding with the headrest, having a decent bit of padding with a nice little thingy saying Chiltern Railway as well. Plug sockets, armrests. I think it's disappointing it's not the Intercity 76 in first class, but maybe they were badly damaged or just needed just new seats. Recline wasn't even that good. I couldn't quite get it to work, which is quite disappointing. I read on Chiltern's website, it said as of 2022 they were no longer offering business zone, so I believe you can sit in there free of charge. Just got off the train to have a look at the DVT, but you should probably double check before you travel. One thing that is a modern day requirement is the accessible toilet. Decently sized. I quite like the feeling of the modern toilet though. I said this about the standard one. I think it's got a really modern feeling. If these didn't have the accessibility requirements, these would have been withdrawn by 2020. But they have got the requirements, so that's good. But everything worked as intended in the toilet, which was good. Legroom is just absolutely exceptional. The local horde sets have gotten up to speed quite quickly.
It's a squeaky one, isn't it?
Mark 3.
Huh?
Mark 3, what do you expect? Very rattly.
What's he?
We are now going past some freight trains. Time to test the internet. as far as Wi-Fi goes on trains, that's pretty good. Time to sum up today's journey. The positives. These trains are in amazing condition, have been refurbished really well, and have the Intercity 70 seats. That's the positives. I think everything on this train was positive. I don't really have a complaint to make except the hand dryer. I don't know if I was being stupid or I just couldn't get it to work. But apart from that, I don't have a single complaint. That's how well Arriva have actually done. Now, I'm usually the one to just say as much bad stuff as possible about Arriva, but they've done really well with Chiltern, so well done Arriva. So yeah, thank you for watching today's Transport with Reese video. So don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Thank you.